Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. We are only weeks away from the next standard rotation. We don't have the dates or anything yet, but I mean, come on, it's going to happen in March or April, and this far into March it's going to happen in April, probably. So I've been looking at all of the cards that are going to rotate out of standard format. The cards from 2021, cards from Forged in the Barens, United in Stormwind and Fractured in Alterac Valley are going to rotate out of the standard format when the new expansion comes. And I've been thinking about which of these cards did I really enjoy, which of these cards did I hate, like what do I miss, what will I not miss. And in this video I'm going to take a look at the top 10 cards from year 2021 that I am going to miss in Hearthstone after the standard rotation. And the first one of these is Najak Hexxen. Najak Hexxen did not see a lot of mainstream play during its time in standard, although right now it is being played in Undead Priest a lot. Battlecry, take control of an enemy minion, Death Rattle, give the minion back. I mean, I just think that's such a wonderful mechanic. At times it seemed borderline useless, at times it's really strong, there's potential counterplay that you can have to Hexxen's effect, so just a very well balanced and interesting card, and I really like this card. And another card that's leaving in the rotation is Fel Barrage. 2 mana Fel spell, deal 2 damage to the lowest health enemy twice. And I also thought this was a wonderful design. You could set up the board where it would hit the board minions. You could sometimes get the face to be the place, so you could damage the opponent so that the opponent was actually the lowest health, and then Fel Barrage would not hit minions, it would hit the opponent directly. Just a lot of options, a lot of Hearthstone that you can play with this card. Obviously it was also used in some OTK combos with some spell damage additions and stuff, which I didn't really like that much, but overall I had a very good time playing with Fel Barrage. Just design that promotes you making decisions. That's something that I enjoy. And this is a really sad loss. Darkbishop Benedictus. Yeah, Benedictus' time in standard format is over. I still hope that they will add Benedictus to the core set, though there's still an off-ramp here. But Darkbishop Benedictus started the game if the spells in the deck are all shadow and the shadow form. So actually giving Priest a useful hero power. Priest's big problem is that Priest hero power is so bad. It's so incredibly bad in the vast majority of situations, and that's why Priest has always been like, usually it's just bad, and then it gets some really bonkers stuff, and then it's good. But most of that bonkers stuff has been like Shadow Rebrand stuff, so changing that hero power into something useful. And Darkbishop Benedictus does that at the start of the game, allowing Priest to play a different strategy, and I really enjoyed this card a lot. I realized that the quest lines and hero cards are quite controversial, and they're quite controversial also, like my opinion of them is also conflicted, because sometimes I love them and sometimes I hate them, and just not many of them made it to the list. Actually, this is the only one that made it to the list. It's Find the Imposter. Questline, play 2 SI7 cards, reward add a spy gizmo to your hand. I just had a great time playing with the SI7 cards. I thought that was really flavorful. It was a little bit dull in a sense, because we didn't have enough SI7 cards to really mix and match and build. It was kind of a forced package, but still it was a little bit of a different style to play Rogue, a little bit more minion-based style to play Rogue. I thought it was something that was fun for Rogue to have for a change. So yeah, maybe Find the Imposter is a card that doesn't have longevity, so that it doesn't really belong in the game for all eternity, but it's still a card that I will miss because it gave Rogue something a little bit different to do, and I thought that was fun. And how could I say no to Handlock? There's a bunch of Handlock cards that are leaving standard format, among them the Entitled Customer, 6 mana 3/2 Battlecry, deal damage equal to your hand size to all other minions. I had a lot of really fun times with this card, just playing as Warlock, having a handful of cards, using these cards to have synergy with you having a handful of cards. That's peak Hearthstone. I will also dearly miss our tradable tech card of choice, the Rustrot Viper. Battlecry, destroy your opponent's weapon, tradable. Tradable was just such a great keyword to have on cards that are tech cards, because if you draw it in the wrong matchup, okay, with 1 mana, you can just get rid of it and get something more useful to your hand instead, and that made the card a lot more useful than most tech cards in Hearthstone, and it became the main tech card that you would use in order to destroy weapons, and it's now leaving, and I already miss it. I wonder if they would introduce this to the corset. I mean, it does have tradable. It's tradable or corset style keyword. I'm not sure, but tradable on a tech card, that was just great. And of course the dear Vanndar Stormpike. Battlecry, if this costs less than every minion in your deck, reduce their cost by 3. The card that you would play in all sorts of big decks, and big decks are fun. It's fun to just get those big demons. Like, I've been enjoying Big Demon Hunter in March of the Lich King, just playing with Vanndar, getting some of those big demons. The ability to tutor Vanndar is quite crucial, and Big Demon Hunter is able to do that, although Big Demon Hunter, I guess, overall is not a deck that you really want to play, but Vanndar, Big Demon Hunter, some of the most fun I have had during March of the Lich King, and just so many things that you can do with this. Whenever there's a big minion, hey, is there some way I can fit Vanndar into this deck? Can I tutor Vanndar somehow? Then can I play with these big things, and it's great. Just a lovely card. And we have already reached the top 3, so the card that I missed the third most when it leaves standard format is going to be Arid Stormer. I could have said Granite Forgeborn. I mean, Granite Forgeborn is not bad. It's like a key card in the Elemental Shaman deck, but it's kind of predictable as well. But Arid Stormer, Battlecry, if you played an Elemental last turn, gain Rush and Wind Fury. And there were so many things that you could do with Arid Stormers. If you can activate that Battlecry, you can clear up some minions with it. That Wind Fury is going to be a threat. You can use buff spells on it and just go face for even more. There's just really a lot of decisions. There's a lot of Hearthstone to be played when you play with Arid Stormer. And overall, I'm going to miss the Elemental Shaman archetype. Elemental Shaman is now going away. It wasn't top tier recently anyway, but I did play budget versions of Elemental Shaman throughout the 2 years that it was in the game, so I have some really fond memories of this. The card that I'm going to miss the second most, it's actually 2 cards. Like, you can't really talk about one without talking about the other. Shield Shatter, Frozen Buckler. The warrior removal tools of the era. Just, I love these cards. Frozen Buckler, gain 10 armor at the start of your next turn, lose 5 armor. So sometimes you get that armor, and then if the opponent is just going to bang through all of that armor, then actually that losing 5 armor at the start of next turn is not going to happen. It's just mitigated 5 damage anyway. On the other hand, it doesn't let you just accumulate too much armor. Just a wonderful design. And Shield Shatter, really great to go with that. Deal 5 damage to all minions, cost 1 less for each armor you have. Synergizes with all of the armor in Control Warrior. Really iconic, fun Control Warrior cards. But the card that I'm going to miss the most is Doggie Biscuit. Doggie Biscuit single-handedly changed the way we think about and play Hunter. Instead of focusing on direct damage spells, instead of focusing like charge minions and just going face, Doggie Biscuit gave us a way to actually make the board relevant, actually fight for the board with Hunter, even with aggressive Hunter decks. Just the start of this, Hunter never before was really a class that could play minions, could buff them up. A Hunter minion would be a threat. If you don't remove them, maybe they buff them up. The entire considerations that simply did not exist about Hunter before the introduction of Doggie Biscuit. And changing the way face Hunter, for example, the archetype is defined and played. And that's a lot to do for a single card, but Doggie Biscuit accomplished that. Doggie Biscuit, one of my favorite cards of all time. It's a card that I'm going to miss the most from 2021 when the rotation happens, and was just such a lovely card. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.